will suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning of this program almost 2 hours ago. What did I say? I started off and I said, I want to make this very, very clear. This morning in 2017, August, the white supremacists are very skilled at the art, science, code of deception. All right? And they are the best strategists in the world for dominating and mistreating people. And part of that strategy, a key part, is to do what? What did I say earlier in this program? If some of you were with this program at the beginning, today. I said it over and over again, and I'm going to end up this program saying it. The white supremacists take all sides of every argument when it comes to people of color, so that they have positioned themselves to have, in the end, the same strength or greater strength than they had before the argument started. I'm going to emphasize that again. They are very, very scientific at taking all sides. See, they position their people on all sides of not just two sides, three sides. If there's an argument of any kind, religious argument, political argument, educational argument, they position themselves on all sides of every facet of every argument. Don't forget that. Like the Godfather trying to tell Michael, I mean, whomever comes to you and set up this meeting, that's a traitor. Don't forget that.
No. Right. Right.
Right.
That is the Godfather once again, Brother Neely Fuller Jr. And that clip was actually, hold on a second. That clip is relatively short. So there's another one that I want to play for y'all before we get started real quick, just to drive this point home, because I don't want people to overlook how important and how methodical the white supremacists get down when it comes to this tactic.
Right. White supremacy is all deception, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get this queued up right here.
And if you don't understand the tactics, you can get got. You can fall victim to it even further. We're all victims of it, right? But it's about defeating, and coming out on top. It's important to know how skilled they are at deception.
All right. And I'm not going to let this whole clip play, but I want to play some of this here. Here we go again. Brother Neely Fuller Jr.
Okay. What I say there is use this word illegitimate with caution. Study the ways that others use it. And then I have a number of questions that follows that codified instruction.
Yes.
To use this word with caution. When you say illegitimate, use it with caution. And now you have some questions about what is illegitimate.
Yes.
What is an illegitimate child? Is any child of any person illegitimate? During the existence of white supremacy, are the non-white people of the known universe the illegitimate children of the white supremacists? These are all just questions now.
Yes.
I didn't give any answers. Is white supremacy an illegitimate form of government? In my opinion, it is, but that's just my opinion. Are the white supremacists, racist man and racist woman, illegitimate governors of the non-white people of the known universe? Are they illegitimate governors? In my opinion, the answer is yes, but that's just my opinion. And according to compensatory logic, that which is illegitimate may be that which is correct, and that which is legitimate may be that which is not correct.
What does that
or
mean?
Incorrect. All right? Depending on what you want to say is the definition of the word illegitimate. See what I mean? There are people who will say that Jesus was illegitimate. Okay? And there are other people who say, oh, no, don't say that. But in the eyes of some people at that time, when he was born, they said, well, the father said that it wasn't his baby. That was, the father's name was Joseph, a male child born of woman. But they say, yeah, but you got a greater father than Joseph. And they say, yeah, but we don't have no evidence of that. So that baby is illegitimate. And at that time, there ain't much of nothing, really. And so that was the attitude of a lot of people at that time.
Okay.
And the attitude toward that illegitimate baby, proved to be, hey,
Fast
he
forward.
ain't no Roman emperor. He ain't much of nothing. He's just a jackleg. A lot of people around there saying we ain't going to let this happen. Everybody backs away. I don't know it, it's a terrible thing. And that's something else the white supremacists do. I want to interject this.
There we go.
They're real good at taking both sides of every argument. I've been forgetting to put that out here periodically.
Yes,
because here in 2018, the white supremacists are getting better and better at taking all sides of every argument.
Yeah.
And do it in a heartbeat.
Yes. Yes.
A stern white supremacist. He will sit right there and argue against you, and then 5 minutes later, arguing for you.
Yeah.
Now, what's the result of this?
Confusion.
You get confused.
Yes.
All right? But the whole idea is he or she is still wielding the power. Don't forget that.
Yes.
Don't forget that. All the arguments settle down. They are still the ones who have the power. I don't care what the argument was about.
Okay.
It's only the victim that's confused, but they ain't confused at all. They know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
If it's a legitimate
Yes, indeed. So when all the arguments settle down, they not confused. It's only the victims who are left confused, and they are the ones still wielding the levers of power.
Right. Power never left your hands.
Right. Man, and they masters at this shit, man. They masters at this shit. And over the past week or so, last 2 weeks, was we on last Sunday? We was on last Sunday, right? Yeah. So over the past week, a lot of the stories that have been coming out, a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing on social media and stuff like that, I just kept seeing this theme of them taking both sides, all sides of every argument.
All of it.
And you know what I'm saying? And Negroes being confused about what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And so Neely Fuller's words was just ringing in my head, and I said, okay, we're gonna go with this theme for this Sunday's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. So welcome everybody, welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, here with my lovely co-host for the evening, for the season. Miss nyctegur in the building. What's going on out there in Cali, man?
What's up, everybody? Peace, Black Power, and reparations. I'm gonna reel this in every episode. Peace, blessings, reparations, Black Power. It's going good in Cali. It's actually hot today.
Oh, it's hot.
Yesterday, and it's hot today.
Man, y'all had that tsunami warning going on out there.
Yeah, it's weird weather too, to be honest, because the rain, it was all gray yesterday, and I woke up this morning, it was bright, and went out to run some errands, and it's hot.
Yeah, well, it's been snowing all day and icy out here in Georgia. You know what I mean? They were talking the last couple of days about us getting a little wintry mix, a little mini storm or whatever, and you never know down here because they'll say that, and then there'll be a couple of flurries that don't even hit the ground, and that'd be it. But it actually snowed. We actually got some accumulation down here. The cars is covered with snow. The roads is a little icy out there. You know what I'm saying? My son was happy as hell.
The little one?
Yeah, the little one. You know, he the only one that was born here in Georgia, so he not used to the snow like that.
Right.
He been begging to see some snow. He's seen snow. We go to New York, you know, a lot of times for the holidays and shit like that. But he just be thirsty to see the snow. So when he got up this morning, he got up super early, like he was about to go to school or something. I'm like, what you doing up so early? He's like, I don't want to miss it.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's my guy. Mama Love in the building. What's going on?
Hey, Mama.
What's going on? So yeah, the weather's a little crazy, man. It look like it's gonna be cold for the next couple of days too. So I don't think it's gonna melt so fast.
Right.
So if you're out here, if you're down here in Georgia or in the southeast, because I think they got it. My daughter sent me some pictures. She in Charlotte. They got some snow too. So if you're in the southeast region and you're dealing with this inclement weather right now, y'all be careful out there on the roads. If you gotta go out. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go out and run errands or go to work or whatever it is that you got to do still, just be careful out there.
Yeah, they were talking about black ice and everything, right?
Yeah.
Being out there.
Yeah, that's the shit that you really got to worry about once it get nighttime and the temperature drops. You know what I mean? Because it'll look like the road is clear, but you can't tell, you know what I mean, that it's a sheet of ice right over top of the concrete. And then you hit them brakes. Your ass be sliding all over the place.
Man.
And a lot of people that's from here, that's been down here their whole life, they don't really know how to drive in it. They don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Well, you would think that they would have mastered it at this point. If you live there and you're from there, you should know.
Because it don't snow like that here.
Oh, okay.
It don't snow like that here. Like once in a while. Like I've been down here 9 years now. Probably snowed like 4 or 5 times since I've been here.
Oh, okay.
It don't snow like that. It don't snow like that. And they don't have the sand trucks and the plow trucks and all of that shit to be able to, you know, take care of the roads and stuff like that.
Like they do in New York.
Yeah. Oh, Mama Love, y'all waiting on y'all turn now? It's coming y'all way?
Oh.
Y'all used to it. So y'all used to that.
I ain't used to it. I was out yesterday in the rain and I had flip-flops and shorts on. That's just a California thing. It's not uncommon to see Californians in flip-flops while it's raining. Because we know it's not going to be long, even if it's coming down hard. You know, sometimes it'll come down hard in spots like in the Caribbean or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you always see people in shorts and with an umbrella and some flip-flops on. Like, what kind of mess is that? When I think about it, I'm like, I look dumb as heck.
No, not really. Not really. It's raining, but shit, it's still warm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But man, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about last night's show, man. We had a dope show last night.
That was awesome.
Yeah, dope show last night.
Messages, a lot of inboxes. Actually, some people inboxed me this morning. They didn't get a chance to see it live, but were able to look at the playback and was like, good show, you know, blah, blah, blah. Actually, someone did also ask me, they said that they believe that Clyburn's wife is Native American. And maybe that's the reason that he keeps pushing stuff.
His wife?
Yeah, but I looked her up. I don't know if that's part of her heritage, but she passed away in 2019, by the way. So, you know, rest in peace to her. But, you know, I was trying this morning actually to dig something up once I got that message and I can't find anything. Every time you click on anything or try to look for anything for her, it always defaults to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, we did have the brother Greg Marcel Dixon on the show last night. He is the reparations candidate running for Congress in South Carolina and District number 6. He's running against Jim Crow, Negro Jim Clyburn. You know what I'm saying? And so we had him on the show last night talking about his agenda, his reparations agenda and all of that. It was a good show. We've been getting a lot of good feedback all day today about the show last night. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure that you go and watch that replay. Like Mama Love just said, show was on fire last night. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah, I
indeed, it
mean,
was.
he has a lot
Yes,
of
indeed.
energy, and everything that he's pushing, specifically for us, I think it's crazy not to support it. He's been standing, on his square and driving it, consistently. I haven't seen anything, that I'm worried about other than, him getting it. Just get in there. That's it. At this point, it's about getting him in there and see what he can do and pull off once he's in that position.
Right, right. So shout out to Marcel Dixon for Congress. Y'all can support him by going to his website, marcelforcongress.com, and you could donate if you are in South Carolina and that district out there as well. Make sure that you get registered to vote so that you can support him when the election comes around. And
Volunteer.
stay tuned to the Godcast for some more of those special reparations candidate episodes as well, because next week we got the brother Christopher Leggett coming on, who is running for mayor of Augusta, and he's running on a reparations platform as well. So we're going to have him on a Tuesday.
Saturday. I thought we were doing a Saturday with him as well. No, Tuesday. You're right. Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're coming
Tuesday the 25th.
Yeah, the next week.
He's going to be on talking about his agenda and what he plans to do down there in Augusta once he gets that mayoral seat. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been seeing a lot of black mayors getting elected all around the country. I put up a post about that a couple of weeks ago. In New York, they got that Adams dude out there. I seen in Petersburg, St. Petersburg, Florida, they got a black mayor out there. Pittsburgh, I believe, they got a black mayor elected. Few cities around the country, they've been getting black mayors elected in office, but the thing is, none of them have a black agenda.
Right, and enough with the black faces in high places. Right, we need somebody to put some work in.
Right. So we're trying to get as many of the reparations candidates that are out there right now on the show so that we can make you guys aware of them, and we can all get behind them and get on code and support the people who are out there pushing our agenda.
Right.
So I guess let's get started. Let's get started with the show on this Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody, by the way. So like we said, the theme of this show is how the white supremacists always like to take both sides or all sides of every argument in order to guarantee that they are the ones that remain in power at the end of the day. And so this theme came to me after I seen one of the posts that nyctegur put up about let me share this real quick.
I'm like, which one?
About them banning books. They banning all these books by black authors in schools all around the country. Talking about they teaching
critical race theory.
Yeah,
which
CRT.
really is nothing.
Critical race theory. So white supremacists are up in arms about all of these books that are coming out by black authors that are supposed to be teaching critical race theory, whatever that is, even though they don't have a clear definition of what critical race theory is. And really it's just a decoy argument, a straw man argument, because it doesn't have any clear definition. And so it's just meant to get us wasting time talking in circles, arguing about something that doesn't even have anything to do with our best interests at the end of the day. Right.
And then they'll write a policy in while we arguing over dumb stuff. They'll pass a policy for more illegal immigrants or somebody else to get something, and we don't get nothing because we were busy off arguing over a nothing burger to begin with.
Right. And that's the thing. And so a lot of these books that they're talking about, let me share this. A lot of these books that they're talking about, book bans in schools are catching fire. Black authors say uproar isn't about the students. Right. And so a lot of these books that they're talking about banning from the libraries and the schools and all of that are doing just that. They're pushing people of color. They're talking about all these other minority groups and all of that. They're conflating black issues with all these other so-called marginalized communities anyway. And so my thing was, when I saw the post, I'm like, okay, you know what? Ban the damn books. The books ain't doing us no damn good. And anyway, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and argue with y'all about that. Y'all want to ban the books? Ban the books. Those books are not teaching real Black history. They're not pushing a real Black agenda. They're not really educating our kids and getting their minds right in order to be able to deal with racism and white supremacy the way that they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? These books ain't going to do nothing but program our children to grow up and maintain the status quo.
That's it.
So when I saw that, I was like, I ain't got no argument here. But I see how, again, the white supremacists are taking both sides of the argument, you know, just to get us talking in circles. So let's go a little bit through this article here. So book ban in schools are catching fire. Black authors say uproar isn't about students. Parents and patrons initiate more than half of all book challenges in the U.S. compared to 1% from students. The American Library Association reported. And they're highlighting this guy, author Jerry Craft. I don't know that much about him. From what I found about him, I didn't really see anything too problematic other than the fact that he's, you know, he's on the kumbaya, you know, people of color.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not going to read this whole article, but I just want to show y'all the gist of what they're talking about here. And so he's the main author that they're highlighting. And these are two of his books that they have up here, The New Kid and The Class Act. And these were the books that were in the post that you posted up, right?
That's a good too.
Yeah. And so y'all guys could go check out there's a few articles out there. This one right here is NBC. I think this is NBC. But y'all could go check out the articles if y'all choose to do that. I'm not gonna read the whole thing here. I just want to give y'all the gist of what they was talking about. But the thing is, my son actually has the Class Act book. Right. So I was already kind of aware of the author. I was already kind of aware of the book. And I was a little bit torn about it because this was something that my mom ordered the book for him. He wanted it. You know how they send home those scholastic magazines, you know, when it's time to go to the book fair and all of that shit. And so, you know, he sees a Black kid on the cover, you know what I mean? And so my mom was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you some new books. Pick out the books that you want. Let me know what books you want. So this was one of the books that he picked. And I normally kind of proofread the stuff that he gets, the stuff that he watches on television, on YouTube or whatever. I kind of, you know, go through it to make sure it ain't no, especially to make sure it ain't no LGBT shit being pushed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that was something that happened real early on when he was like about 2 years old or something. My son been reading since he was 1. He's been doing sight words and stuff since he was 1 year old. He was reading like little, you know, See Spot Run type books at like 2 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Good job, Mom and Dad.
Huh?
Said good job, Mom and Dad.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. And so when he was like 2 years old, we got him this little book, me and my daughter. I talked about it on the song Buck Breaking. On the song Buck Breaking, I said me and my daughter was in Barnes and Noble. She grabbed the ABC book for my little soldier. She was immediately excited by the sight that she seen because the design on the cover had red, black, and green. She got home with her little brother, started to read. She said, Daddy, this book is all about LGBT. And so I thumbed through it. Couldn't believe what I seen. A Black boy in a dress. It said Q was for Queen. Wow. And so ever since then, I always been on super high alert when it comes to anything, especially if it looks like it's supposed to be made for Black children. Right. Because like I said, my daughter was hyped to get the book immediately because of the design of it. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, the white supremacists always take both sides. You know what I mean? The book is written by a white man, a white LGBT man. You know what I'm saying? But it has not this one.
Not this one, but the one that you're referencing from your song is written by a white dude, and he has the red, black, and green colors, the RBG.
Exactly.
Shut
up.
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's in the Afrocentric book section inside the bookstore. You know what I'm saying? So it's specifically designed not just for children, but for Black children. Right. And it's a book that's for toddlers because it's like one of those little books smaller than my phone. And the pages are made out of like cardboard so they can't rip it up or tear it up or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So this is a book that's designed for probably like a 6-year-old or something. But again, he was advanced he was advanced with reading, so he's like 2 years old at the time. And so anyway, I just said that to say that ever since then, I've been on high alert for shit like that. So whatever he watches, whatever he's reading, anything like that, you know, I like to proofread it first, or I'll read it with him just to make sure it ain't none of that bullshit going on. So when he got this book, which was not too long ago, this was maybe like around the holidays or whatever, he got this book right before they went on winter break. And I was a little bit torn about it because of some of the themes in the book, you know what I'm saying? But I took it as a teachable moment and an opportunity for me to be able to have certain conversations with him, because he is only 6 years old. And so it's kind of hard to talk to a 6-year-old about racism, white supremacy, and, you know, how these things work. And so being that, come here, son. So being that, you know, he loved the book and he's so interested in the book, it was easy for me to have these conversations with him. Come here. Let me unplug the headphones. Hopefully I can still hear everything. Say peace.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Seven. So damn cute.
So,
Wait a second. Just let me finish explaining. Right? And so, let me take these off. And so, again, I was ready to take the book from him. Like, nah, you can't have this book. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, nah, he likes the book. You know, he's very interested in the book. The book is a beautiful book. You know what I'm saying? The illustrations and, you know, it's written like a graphic novel, like a comic book kind of. You know what I'm saying? So it has beautiful pictures in it. You know, it's very engaging. And this is the challenge with it, right? Because being that he's 6 years old, but he reads like a middle schooler, it's hard to find books that are going to challenge his reading and be appropriate for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I decided to let him keep the book, but I used it as a conversation piece so that we could talk about some of these things, right?
Right.
Right. So introduce yourself, man. Tell everybody who you are. Everybody don't know who you is. You ain't famous.
Okay, my name is Seven. So I'm 6 years old, and today I'm gonna include something from my book in this podcast.
Right.
Seven, we appreciate you, and we're excited to hear you today.
It's 5 speech bubbles in one.
Okay.
So it's good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our special assembly. I would like to think of the RAD community as ever learning and ever evolving. So you may have noticed our stricter policies on zero tolerance and for fighting and bullying, as well as our ideas such as our sister school program, which we are looking to improve for next year. And to help our faculty be more sensitive to the needs of our students, we will send a dozen teachers to the National Organization of Cultural Liaisons Understanding Equality Conference over spring break.
Cultural liaisons.
Yeah, I said that. Our goal is to set better examples for you to become more empathetic adults.
Right. So, I can give my son a digital round of applause for that right there. Right. And so in this section of the book, they're having this assembly where they're basically doing like this what do you call that? You know, sometimes when these teachers and cops and stuff get in trouble for racism, they'll send them to these seminars to kind of,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of teach them how to be sensitive to.
Right. Sensitivity training. Yeah.
So that's what's going on in that chapter right there. They're having a sensitivity training because some of the teachers have been saying some insensitive, aka racist things, you know what I'm saying, in the classrooms. And there's this one staff member who he's always tripping over his words. He's always saying something out of line and then trying to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it was just a good way for me and him to have the conversations about racism and how it works and get him to start understanding these things early as possible, right, son?
Right.
All right, good job, man. High five.
Thank you, Seven.
You can go.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so even in the book, you got the white supremacists taking both sides of the argument. even in the little kids book.
That's crazy. It's like, so we have to literally be on alert for everything, even when you think it's an innocent book, and on the books, it usually says between the ages 5 to 7. You're like, no, you're gonna have to look up in there and make sure there's no propaganda, in the book.
And the propaganda is everywhere now, man. Everywhere, particularly with our children. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just the LGBT propaganda and that whole agenda, even though that's very heavy, but just the whole liberal agenda. And not to take the the right wingers off the hook or nothing. They ain't no better.
Right.
They ain't no better. But a lot of what we are seeing is definitely coming from the white liberals trying to program our children into this whatever type of society that they're trying to create.
Right.
Where, ain't no genders, ain't no such thing as boys and girls, and racism is a thing of the past. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hard. Systematic oppression, died when Martin Luther King died. Like, that doesn't exist anymore. Look who you have. You have Oprah, you have LeBron James, those types of things that they like to throw at us. So there's no excuse for you. You have Oprah.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Obama. And
right. Don't forget him.
Definitely don't forget the Obamas. That's, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I want the, let me see the caption that I put on there. Make sure y'all hit the like button, family. Share this out. Invite some people to come join us tonight. And make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you can receive, and click notification bell so that you can receive notifications whenever we go live with new content. So I said, my son has the Class Act book, and it's very people of color-ish. He loves the book, but I definitely have to counter some of the narratives and break it down as we read it together. I have a problem with these type of books also because they are sending the wrong messages to our children. It's basically controlled opposition. So remember, the white supremacists always take both sides or all sides of every argument. So these authors are supposed to be pro-black, but really they sound no different than the average white liberal. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing that we need to look out for, especially parents. You know what I'm saying? You guys got young children out there. We always want to, we're looking for representation. We always want, we want to find the superheroes that got black superheroes in it, the books that have some black characters in it and stuff like that, just so our children could see themselves. And that's cool. That's what's up. Right. But we're going to have to support a lot of the people who are doing things independently. Yeah. And that's the reason why we got the Black Business Showcase as well. We want to bring some of these creators who are creating content and stuff for children on our show so you guys can support them. Because if it's coming from the mainstream media, it's automatically a red flag.
Well, again, stop accepting too. Anybody that they're shoving down our throats and highlighting in a big way, you really have to dig deep and figure out why this person, right? Because anytime they bring someone to us, it's never really for our best interest. And again, superheroes, and whether they're black or not, there's always a villain. Sometimes the villain can look like you. They use us against us all the time. So that cannot be our determining factor all the time. You got to get into the meat of everything, especially when it comes to the children. And then I'm going to say, a lot of people say the children, then the women. I'm going to say the children, men, then women for me, because black men are always on attack. Black boys first, then black girls, black men, and then us. We kind of, they use us against the black men pretty much, but
Okay, and that kind of brings me to another story. I guess we could segue into that real quick. I don't got it pulled up though, but that chick, Jamila Lemieux.
Oh Lord.
She did an article. She did an article in the Vanity Fair, attacking Dave Chappelle again.
Right.
And, she was talking about how Dave Chappelle was basically trying to perpetuate the narrative that straight black men have it worse than everybody else. Right. It's more of the gender divide type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And Jamila Lemieux, she's a problem. She's been
Always
a
have been
problem.
for years.
Word up.
For
Let me try
years.
to find this article. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? You saw it, right?
I do. I'm trying to find it as well. Yeah, she's been problematic for a long time. She's one of those intersectionists. You know, I'm not even sure if she's straight or not, to be honest. It doesn't matter. But, you know, she has definitely been on that man hate train for a very, very long time. Just a little backstory, too, on her. Her father, who's very white looking, right? Who was also supposedly in the Black Panthers, if I'm not mistaken, there in Chicago, but then turned Chicago. He was a Chicago police officer as well, right? So, and it was a lot of shady things that he did within the force, you know, against Black people. Now, mind you, this man does not look Black one iota.
Right.
He does not pass at all. Now, you look at her; she's very dark skinned, you know, all Black features. I don't know if somebody lying or something, but yeah, she's been problematic for a very, very long time. She and her father.
Right.
And it makes me wonder, you know, because her father has always been in her life and she gives him a lot of praise, right? So what did he teach her about Black men that she hates Black men so much? Where did the ideals of Black men come from? Why does she have this anger? Because most women who had a good father in the home that raised them right, that was always around, you don't feel this way about me because you had a good man around all the time that showed you, you know, love and support and all these things. So where did that hate come from? Usually it's the women that did not have a father in the home.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
And all that.
That's a good point. And yeah, so there's always been different rumors and stories and skepticisms about her father. Like you said, he was in the Black Panther Party, but at the same time, you know, the rest of the Black Panthers were dismantled, they were killed, they were imprisoned.
Right.
But you one of the ones who were able to get into the good graces of the white supremacists and be a part of law enforcement. And then your daughter comes up and she's this big media person. You know, she's been writing for like Ebony and all these different Black magazines for years, putting out a lot of propaganda. Like you said, that the whole gender divide, the Black male hate, and all of this stuff. She's been doing that stuff for years, man. She's like a little baby Oprah.
Right. And her bestie is that Cynthia Arroyo, the one who played
Arrivo,
yeah, the one who played Aretha, where people was pissed off about that, but that's her bestie. And look at the anti-Blackness things that she's tweeted over the years.
Yeah, anti-foundational Blackness too, anti-foundational Black American. Her and her homegirl Lovey sitting around calling niggas Akadas and all of that shit, and talking about the Akata women and the ghetto women and doing the ghetto accents, imitating foundational Black American women and shit like that. You know, that's the type of people that she clicks up with. And her father, for those of y'all that might remember the movie, great movie, by the way, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he was in that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, The Spook That Sat by the Door.
It's a nigga. Remember his lines?
Yeah. Yo, let me see if I can pull that up.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that.
Nah, actually, they probably give me a strike for that. I ain't even gonna pull that up. But yeah, he was in that movie. He was the white looking dude, or the white dude, whatever he is. That was in that movie, but he was part of the uprising, you know what I'm saying? And he had that famous part on there when he said he said, I'm Black. He said I'm probably gonna get smoked by some cracker who knows I'm Black better than you, nigga. Some shit like that. Y'all, it was a famous part in that movie right there. But that was her dad.
Yeah. White as snow too. And not even on the what's our brother Rock Newman? Not even light, because to me, Rock Newman, although very light skinned, I see a Black man and always have. His lightness never made me feel like he was anything other than a Black man. And I'm not sure if it's because he's always pretty much been on code with black people.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Because shout out to Rock Newman. Shout out to Rock Newman. That's our brother. I think it's his spirit.
It's his spirit.
It's his spirit because he looks like a white man. You know what I'm saying? If I just show somebody, if somebody never heard of him, and I just show you a picture or a video, you won't think that's a white man.
I literally see a light skinned black guy, and for me too, my brother's godfather is light like that, and his family. These are complete black people. You just can't tell.
Yeah, I saw that too, Jackson. I saw that too when he did the DNA test.
He was upset too.
If you believe there's or whatever. Yeah, he was majority. He was basically a Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, in that area where he's from, I forgot exactly where, somewhere in the DMV area, there's like a whole community of them who were like mulattoes and really light skinned. You know, I guess they were like the children of the former of the slave masters or whatever. You know, a lot of them were the ones that they built the HBCUs for and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? To create kind of like an overclass, to create, you know, how they do create these buffer class systems or whatever. But in the community where he grew up at, he talks about how he always had to sit in the back of the church. He was treated just like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the one drop rule. It's the one drop rule. So he fell under that category. Him and his family and all of the people that look like him that grew up in that area, they fell under the one drop rule where, yeah, you look white, but you can sneak them nigga jeans up in here. You can sneak them nigga jeans up in here. So take your ass to the back of the church.
Right. And the back of the bus if you gotta use public transportation.
Right, Peter Ogun. Louisiana has a large number of them as well. They call them Creoles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they had that whole Blue Vein Society down there, the brown paper bag test and all of that shit down there, which is where you get a lot of the bourgeoisie class that comes through that. You know what I mean? They were the ones who were the original like boule and all of that type of shit. So yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Peter Ogun down there in Louisiana. So yeah, let me show y'all the article.
Oh yeah, it's nut.
Jamila Lemieux's punk ass.
And women like her, even men, got to be called out. You got to put them on the Summer Jam screen and let them know this will not be tolerated. And which I will say, a lot of people in black media have been giving her that work.
Oh yeah, for sure. She was getting dragged on Twitter after this article came out. They was giving her the business on Twitter. I'm surprised Vanity Fair ain't take this shit down. They giving her so much work. Now I always see this person in the chat. Do you speak English? I cannot read your name and I cannot read your comments. Do you speak English? Where are you from? Where are you from? I noticed you've been tuning into the GodCast frequently. You definitely welcome. You know, I don't know what you're saying though. I don't know what you're saying though.
Ask them if you want to drop the link and come on.
Yeah, can you use the Google Translate or something? I don't know if you're a white supremacist in here calling us a nigga or what. I don't know what's going on, brother.
Right, because that right there could be nigga right there.
Yeah, it looks Russian or something. I don't know. But shout out to Macam.
Yeah,
whatever his name is.
That.
So why are we still going at Dave Chappelle? Why are they still mad at Dave Chappelle, man? That news cycle ain't over with yet.
Well, because there's some news is getting ready to drop about a white man, so they have to overshadow the news with him to keep us distracted. The same, okay. So what's his name? Prince Andrew. He was, Queen Elizabeth has stripped him of his military, whatever, right? So obviously, it's something to me gonna go down because that's big for that family. They don't really strip you of any titles or anything. So something is going down. So they need to distract us with Dave Chappelle so we don't know what's going on, with these white, pedophiles and, degenerates.
So it's that whole Me Too time's up shit where they got to keep the spotlight.
Because they brought up R. Kelly. Remember, R. Kelly was trending a couple days ago.
For what?
For what? He in jail.
This nigga's under the jail.
Right.
What more y'all want? What more punishment y'all want? Y'all still got all these white pedophiles running around out here. Let me just take this off the screen, man. I know you've seen it where another like Brock Turner type young white supremacist got convicted of rape or sexual assault or whatever it was. And then on the day that he was supposed to get sentenced, the judge threw out the conviction.
Yes.
Just, I'm white and I say so.
Right.
I'm white and I say so. He said, I don't think the jury knew what they was talking about. So I'm going to vacate this conviction, and you're free to go. You're free to go.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Trying to be white.
And there's been a lot of those stories coming out, man, about white supremacists getting off on these sexual impropriety charges, walking scot-free or getting slaps on the wrist. But y'all still talking about R. Kelly, and y'all still trying to find a way to take down Dave Chappelle.
And Bill Cosby. Remember,
Bill Cosby.
They're still trying to do some stuff for Bill. Like
got a hit piece on Bill Cosby, I think on Showtime or HBO, one of them.
Right.
That other black comedian that they trying to prop up, directed or wrote or whatever he did.
Oh yeah, somebody we never heard of.
Kamal something. Nobody in black society. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that white society is trying to prop up, to attack Bill Cosby for what, man?
Right. It's weird, but not surprising.
At all.
Surprising, and that's what bugs me though is when black people jump on board to further help them attack other black people.
Mm-hmm.
The off-code Negroes.
Right. So here she goes. She said, Dave Chappelle and the black ass lie that keeps us down. So it's the black lies that are keeping us down. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to focus on white supremacy. It's the black ass lies that keep us down.
Yeah.
The comedian perpetuates the idea that straight black men have it worse than any other group of black people, including black women and LGBTQ plus black people. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Right. And I mean, just to, say it, black men do. Unfortunately, black men don't necessarily always, or black men are not just fighting white supremacy. They're fighting black women, and I mean, not black men necessarily going after black women, but we help the system with the child support bullshit, putting them on child support, putting them in jail because I'm mad at you because, we can't be together. So now I'm going to accuse you of touching our child when you know that he didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? All kinds of things that goes on. We got to be honest about it. And that's not all women, but we have to also acknowledge the number of attacks from all areas coming at black men specifically. Like, what's his name? I know a lot of people don't like him, but Kwame talks about there's a black girl magic, right? And there's always something to highlight the great things that black women do. And again, we have a whole hashtag Black Girl Magic, but there's no black boy joy, no black man anything. And as soon as a black man dies, that's the only time he becomes a hashtag. When he's dead. And we got to get out of the habit of only highlighting a black man's worth when he's already gone. What good is that going to do when he's already gone and buried?
But again, where does that come from? That narrative and all of that, those black women who are being propped up to push this, like Jamila Lemieux, are being propped up by the white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? Right. So all roads, at the end of the day, all roads lead to white supremacy. And black men and women, we're in the same boat. Ain't none of us doing no better than the other one. Can't none of us get ahead without the other one. There's no such thing as that. You know what I'm saying? We in the same boat. We got to be together. We are together for the most part. You know what I'm saying? It's just that these few people have these loud bullhorns and these large platforms to try to make it seem like there's more of a divide in the community than there is. But black men and women, for the most part, we together, man. We on the same page with this. You know what I'm saying? And let me show you again how this plays along with the white supremacists take all sides theme, right? I'm not going to read the whole article again, but just in this beginning part. She says, I was in a bad state for about a week after the closing. Pissed, disappointed, confused, watching how many black folks, including some I know and love deeply, puffed their chest out alongside comedian Dave Chappelle and echoed his conviction that the alphabet people were being given something, kindness, civil rights, that the blacks were not receiving with the same ease? Where did the belief that queerness or trans identity makes someone any less of a nigger, or a nigger for that matter, originate? So right there, she's on some bullshit, because that was Dave Chappelle's whole point.
Right.
At the end of the day, the black people that are in the LGBT community are still treated like niggers.
Right.
That the white people in the LGBT community are practicing the same anti-black racism as the white people in the straight community. That was his entire point. So she's trying to take both sides, just like Neely Fuller explained. Right. They'll be arguing against you and arguing for you at the same time.
I mean, just dumb.
For real, man. So that's enough of that, man. Y'all can go check out the article if y'all want. That's in the Vanity Fair. Let me get that out of here. That's in the Vanity Fair.
A white-owned publication, by the way.
Yep.
Which is a white publication, by the way.
The agenda right there, and it's subtle. That's right, Jackson. Shout out to Doris. Is that an L or an I? Miss Doris Labor. Miss Doris Labor. Shout out to Miss Doris Labor. Appreciate you and your continued support, beloved. She's always in the digital building whenever she gets a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and again, like, share, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live on the GodCast right now. And so, what else been going on? What else we got to talk about this week?
I think I had something on here. Well, just speaking while I'm looking for it, and speaking of, the things, unfortunately, that women do on social media, this old clip from Yala, Fix My Life, came on, where this woman accused her ex-husband of molesting their 3 daughters. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being a lie. They did a lie detector test, everything. He was, honest. Hers was deceptive, and she just decided that she was going to go ahead on the show and tell the truth, that she made it all up. For 25 years, he lost his job. The daughter was going to the doctor, getting checked out for no reason, like all kinds of stuff. For 25 years, he had to deal with that. And in the end, she asked for his forgiveness, and he said no, and I wasn't even mad at it.
Right.
I just wasn't mad at it. And you think, like, that's this is just a couple years ago that happened. How many more happen and still happening?
Happens all the time. My brother went through that. Mm-hmm. My brother went through that with his baby moms. Accusing him of molesting the children, telling the children that they were being molested by their father. Going into the courtroom, repeating this lie. And thankfully, nobody believed her. Even though the kids were confused and probably are still dealing with that, But at the end of the day, my brother did end up getting custody of the children and all of that. And, she was just too much of a hot mess to keep it going. But a lot of women, if you ain't no damn crackhead or just all the way a hot mess, you could get away with this shit for a long time, and the system is going to support you.
Yeah.
They will help you ostracize the man from the kids, disenfranchise the man, isolate him from the children and all that shit. That shit goes on far, far, far too much, and we're gonna have a show about that soon.
Absolutely, and that's abuse to me too. So I found it today. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing it circulating as well, but Donald Trump was in Arizona, I believe, and he did some rally there, and he was saying how it's basically racist against white people that they're not able to get access to the shot. Y'all know what we're talking about. Yeah. So, and I'm sitting here like, and I followed that up, and of course, we, save our material for the show so we'll know what we're going to talk about. And just a couple weeks ago, the New York Post said that in New York, they're going to consider race before giving out the vaccine, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like
they're prioritizing us.
yeah, you have like these big blogs and stuff like that, he's trying to make that he's racist, Trump is trash. And it's like, y'all need to give context though. Like what he's saying, yes, it's crazy. I'm used to him saying crazy stuff, but I'm gonna also go back and dig up what happened prior to him saying it.
Mm-hmm.
He's, if they're saying basically put black people in the front of the line, there was other, publications that went out. Basically, they want black people to get the have access to it first, right? And again, I personally feel like this is just another way to, if you don't understand white supremacy, if black people think that they're putting us before white people, then it must be good for us. We need to line up in bigger numbers, right? It's all game.
Right.
It's all game.
So again, man, and just like we talked about last night with Marcel, they'll promote abortion and put these abortion clinics all over your neighborhood and make sure that you have access to that, but they won't make sure that you have good schools in your neighborhood. They won't make sure that you have access to healthy foods in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? For all of the issues that we have in Black America, all of the stuff that we need remedies for, they don't got nothing for us. They got nothing but excuses of why they can't do this and why they can't do that. But when it comes to this shot, we gotta make sure y'all good. Y'all disproportionately being affected by this. So we're gonna do everything that we can to make sure that you guys are good. Abortion, same thing.
It's healthcare. Abortion is healthcare. Is that what they tell us?
Right. Women's reproductive right, and that's why it's important for them to push the gender divide too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let me show y'all the video with Trump because this is him again. This is them again taking both sides of the argument.
Great. And right before you even started, by the way, in the background, there's Blacks for Trump holding up signs, by the way. So pay attention to the details, y'all.
Right. Right. I don't know how big this is going to be, but can y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on.
Guys, if you're white, you don't get the vaccine, or if you're white, just denigrating white people to determine who lives and who dies. If you're white, you don't get the vaccine, or if you're white, you don't get therapeutics. It's unbelievable to think this. And nobody wants this. Black people don't want it. White people don't want it. Nobody wants it. It's not.
You're right about that. You're right about that because we damn sure don't want it. Y'all can have that shit.
Right.
Shove it up your ass. Give it to your grandmama.
All right.
We don't want it. And look at these Negroes in the back.
Right.
These 3 or 4 paid Negroes in the back.
With the same shirt on. Like, you can't make this crap up.
Blacks for Trump. They got the 2020 joints on. Y'all ain't even get the 2024 joints. Y'all still got the 2020 joints on.
But look, they didn't even invest in them new shirts.
You know what I'm saying? They gave y'all the leftover shirts from 2020. Y'all already lost that race. Y'all already lost that race. What the hell?
It's even believable. You saw this a week ago where it came out. Nobody can even believe it. They don't even talk about it, and they don't want to talk about it because they know it doesn't work very well for them. But the Wall Street Journal described the practice race-based preferential COVID treatment. So that's what it is. You get it based on race. In fact, in New York State, if you're white, you have to go to the back of the line to get medical help. Think of it. If you're white, you go right to the back of the line. This race-based medicine is not just denigrating white people to determine who lives and who dies. If you're white.
And so what is this meant to do? This is meant to get us riled up.
Right.
Number one, to say, okay, yeah, finally, they're looking out for our best interest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let us go ahead and go get this shot that we ain't been trying to get for the longest. But the thing is, white folks ain't trying to get that shot either.
No. Man.
White folks is the main one saying go to hell.
Right. I'm saying because Negroes are lining up to get it. Let's be very clear.
Right. Hold on. Am I freezing up or anything?
Every time I looked at that thing, I literally cracked up out loud because I was like, literally, if you really have to understand, the methods, the angles, the propaganda, everything that they will use to deceive you, Black people.
Look, Jackson said, them niggas ain't even with nobody. They just randomly inserted into the crowd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh man, I can't even see the people wearing them. We don't even get the correct lighting for our skin tone.
Right. That was funny.
I don't know if it said, shout out to Fierce for reading. Welcome to the Godcast. The Black person unlocks doesn't appear to be really Black. Clarify that statement. Fierce for reading. Clarify that. Not sure what you're talking about. But yeah, don't you kind of miss Trump with that bullshit?
Right. It's funny because he's a Trump, comedian.
For real.
He's definitely
for real. Kept niggas laughing. Dangerous, but funny though.
Very dangerous, very dangerous. Let's not also forget that Democrat Virginia governor.
Hold on, let me just show this before you go to that. Let me just show this to put it in context, because we also got the story right here. NYC will consider race when distributing life-saving COVID treatment. So this is what he was referring to, y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what he was referring to. He wasn't just, talking out the side of his neck. That's what they're trying to do for real.
Right.
But go ahead.
Democrat Virginia Governor Ralph Northam pardoned convicted pedophile Democrat Senator Joe Morrissey. So he was convicted, and
convicted of what?
Being on code of pedophilia. White supremacy being on code says no. We do not convict our people of doing degenerate things against children. We give them a pardon. Right,
because that's our way of life.
Yes.
Number one. And if you're gonna start convicting them, then you're gonna come after me sooner or later, because
right.
This is what I do on my spare time. So what we locking niggas up for this for?
Right. Now this
and Northam is the dude, speaking of blackface, because Fierce for Reading said that he thought one of those Blacks for Trump was in blackface.
Probably.
Could be. Never. I don't put nothing past him. But that dude Governor Northam, he was the one where they had that controversy a couple of years ago about him wearing blackface at the prom or something when he was in high school, or some pep rally that he went to wearing blackface. That dude Northam, the one that pardoned the pedophile. Yeah, he's that same guy.
And remember, he also got his, at the time, I think she was 17-year-old Black girl pregnant. And this is them in a plantation.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him. That's who got pardoned.
I thought that was somebody. Oh, he's the one that got pardoned. Okay,
he's the one who got pardoned. Yeah.
Show that again.
That's him with his underage baby mama, and she's Black, by the way.
Yeah, got him a little underage negress.
And she's dressed like a I guess she was supposed to be a plantation mammy.
Man,
where's Me Too? Where's Me Too?
Yeah, where's Tarana Burke?
Yeah, because I know she's upset.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Tarana Burke is not having this.
It's not her job to go after Black men. Remember, let's be very clear. That's not her job to worry about Black men. I'm sorry, white men. Let me rephrase that. That's not her job to go after white men.
Man.
Yeah, we got another one. So Jason Van Dyke.
Oh yeah.
Murdered Laquan
McDonald in Chicago.
Yeah, has served 3 years of his sentence. He's getting out next month. I don't even think it's been that long. It's been quite 3 years, but knocking on it maybe. And he's getting out next month.
Now, what are they saying? Because I only saw the headline. What are they saying to justify him getting out?
I mean, overcrowding.
Because of COVID or something?
I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. I have the article up. It says.
So, yeah, Jason Van Dyke is the police officer that murdered Laquan McDonald in Chicago. And that was a major case. That was a major case that a lot of people were getting on. This was during the Obama administration too, y'all. And that was one of the cases where they were getting on. Who was that guy, that top cop that Obama had appointed? That Caribbean immigrant that they had in office at the time as the attorney general. I forgot his name. Oh, Eric Holder. Eric Holder. They was giving him a lot of smoke about that, about not doing nothing about that case. And then finally, you know, after all of the protesting and, you know, some different people getting involved, celebrities and all of these organizations getting involved, they did get a conviction for Officer Van Dyke, a race soldier Van Dyke. But that was just, she said 3 years. I don't even think it's been 3 years. But about 3 years he might have served for that murder, for that racial killing that he did. Well, he shot Laquan McDonald, what, 19 times or something?
Yeah, 16, 17 times.
16 times. Shot that kid.
And lied about it.
Lied about it, covered it up. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the whole police department, prosecution office, everybody was protecting him. But he did end up getting convicted. And now here we are 3 years later, he's getting out next month.
Right. Right. So where's Biden's Department of Justice then? Why can't they go get some charges trumped up on them?
They ain't saying nothing about it.
They ain't saying nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And just speaking of it, so they're not stating why he was released, but his uncle, who's also his pastor, said that I do not think he should ever be a police officer again, but jail is for rehab and not recycling. I hope he was rehabbed. So basically he's saying he's rehabbed from his mistake. You know, he shouldn't be a police officer again, you know, but jail is for rehab. And these almost 3 years he's been rehabbed.
He learned his lesson.
He learned his
lesson. But you got the dude that Jay-Z is trying to get out for a weed charge. He's been locked up 14 years on a 20-year sentence. And they're trying to get him out on basically the same type of grounds, you know, mercy, whatever is, you know, mercy of the court or whatever it is. You know, he's done enough time, you know, considering the charges that he had. It's way too much time for him to have in the first place. You know, it was just weed. He had some pounds. It was a lot of weed, but still, at the end of the day, it's weed, which is being legalized now all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And people are making a killing legally now off of selling weed. So what he was doing was American enterprise. And he's been sitting in there for 14 years. And he meets all of the criteria to get this compassionate release. But the jail is saying, nah, because this nigga stole a piece of chicken out the mess hall.
Right. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny.
This nigga stole an extra piece of chicken out the mess hall. So we don't think he's rehabilitated. Now he hasn't learned his lesson. We're gonna make him do this 20 years that we gave him in the first place.
This chicken wing.
Yeah. You know, but race soldier Van Dyke is getting out next month.
Next month.
You know what I mean? So we at war, family. We shouldn't be surprised by these things.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be surprised by these things. This is how it goes in the system, in the prison of white supremacy.
Right. And we also have Marilyn Mosby.
Oh yeah.
Being indicted.
Yeah.
Like it's just going down. It's been going down out here.
Right. And again, and you see how the media is trying to make Kamala kind of guilty by association with this whole Marilyn Mosby case down there. Marilyn Mosby, for those of y'all that might not remember, she was the prosecutor down there in Baltimore who brought charges against the race soldiers who killed our brother Freddie Gray. When Freddie Gray died in police custody, those 6 officers, She put charges on them, and then the whole system went against her and got those charges dropped against them. And ever since then they've been coming at her heavy.
Right.
And so now they got some mortgage fraud charges on her or whatever. During the pandemic, she took out some money from her pension or something.
And they're saying basically it was fraud. It's her money.
Yeah, she took out some of her retirement money because she was saying she was going through a hardship based on the pandemic, and they're saying that was fraud because she still was getting her normal wages that she been getting the whole time.
She got her own bill. She could have been, it could be someone in her family, close to her that was also impacted, and that was her way of helping them. It, whether directly or indirectly, that's still affecting you if you're even helping someone else. And again, that's her money. Like, this is wild. This is wild. And the headline that I have, it says VP Harris was inspiration for indicted Baltimore official. No Marilyn Mosley without Kamala Harris.
Right. So they letting you know that they're getting ready to break that tool as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They letting you know that when they done utilizing that tool, which is Kamala Harris, they're gonna break their tool, because the white supremacists always break their tools when they're done with them.
Right.
That's what they do. So they lining that up right now by making her guilty by association somehow with Marilyn Mosby, because Marilyn Mosby said she was inspired, to pursue her career based off of Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? She looked up to Kamala Harris. She sees her as some type of mentor or hero or whatever, and so that makes you just as guilty as her.
Right.
We can't trust you the same way we can't trust her, because this wench had the nerve to bring charges against these race soldiers.
How dare she? How dare she?
And so now we can't trust you either, because she looks up to you. So she must have got this from you.
Right.
She broke code. Exactly, Doris. She broke the code.
And now we're coming to break you. Yeah. So there's still more news, y'all. Like, it's been lit. It has been really, really lit in Black media. So Virginia's first woman lieutenant governor says, FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, we need to get over slavery.
Oh my God.
We need to move on. Y'all Negroes, move on from slavery. Y'all talk about it too much. You know what I'm saying? And you need to pull yourselves up like the bootstraps, because my family came here, off of your ancestors, Civil Rights Act, and fighting for me to get over here so that I can have a better life, because I couldn't do it where I came from, right? So now that we got our biscuits and we're doing quite well, and I'm now the lieutenant governor, you Negroes need to get over slavery, move on, and pull yourselves up.
And she's a Jamaican immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking on foundational Black American issues, because how you gonna tell us what we got to get over?
Right.
You know
came over here to get over something. Why you didn't stay over there where you was at and see how well you were gonna do?
My father came over here with $1.75, and look at me. I'm lieutenant governor. So ain't no racism.
Right.
What racism?
Right.
What racism? And so this is the problem, family. This is the reason why we always stress the fact on this platform that we cannot allow people from these other ethnic groups to speak on our behalf.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Foundational Black Americans, freedmen, descendants of American slavery. We are a unique group. We are a peculiar people, and nobody can speak for us. Period. Nobody can speak for us. We are very unique. We have our own issues. We are the only ones that have a legitimate grievance with the United States government. Everybody else is trying to attach themselves to our legitimate, righteous grievance that we have with this government in order to funnel resources and get policies for their community.
Right.
So that's the reason why they cannot speak for us.
Like they're trying to do right now with the Freedmen Bureau. How Kamala and whatever that, little white lady that she was on with, using the Freedmen, bank name and legacy to further try to enrich more immigrants and white people. Like, that's another slap in the face. But again, remember what she said. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something just for Black people. No. Whatever we do for other people, by default, Black people will benefit from. Why we got to get the default?
We're not having
Crumbs.
that.
Meaning
We're not
crumbs.
having that. And she's another Black looking person who's not a foundational Black American. And so
At all.
those two are both prime examples of why we are taking the stance that we're taking, why it's important for us to circle our wagons as foundational Black Americans. They are the prime examples of why this is necessary for us to do, because this is not about us being anti anyone else. You know what I'm saying? This is not about that. This is about us cleaning this type of bullshit up and not allowing this type of shit to happen, because these people are using their melanin to divert the conversation from our righteous grievances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're allowing themselves to be used because they look like us to speak directly against what's in our best interest.
Right.
So that they can get their own personal benefits.
Right. And the thing is, they understand that us circling our wagons and putting our own group first and foremost, right? That is going to harm them, because you can no longer leech on to us. So they're actually upset that we're saying no more leeching. Get off my shoulders, right? I'm only here to pick up my people, meaning other foundational Black Americans, freedmen, etc. I can't lift you up when I'm down, right? It's selfish of them to even expect that out of us. And we've lifted you up since the 60s. And we've gotten nowhere, right? The wealth gap is this wide. They come over here and they have more wealth. They're able to build more wealth than we have as the builders of this country. And you still want me to continue to put your needs above my people, my children? I barely have anything to leave my children now. You still want me to put you first? If y'all don't sit down somewhere.
Right, family. Click the like button. Click that thumbs up button. Click that thumbs up button. Share out the broadcast. What else you got, Nicey, man? You're doing a good job with these. Keep that thing flowing.
So we have her.
Don't get upset, viewer one. Don't get upset. This is we have to be non-emotional when it comes to these things.
Right.
I understand. Trust me, I understand the rage. I understand the heatedness. But we have to be non-emotional when it comes to these things, because our emotions will cloud our decision making.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to be calculated and we have to play chess.
Yeah. No more checkers. So the Supreme Court blocks nationwide vaccine and testing mandate for large businesses, allows healthcare workers vaccine mandate to take effect. So large companies can no longer require you to get it, but y'all boy Joe Biden was saying, well, basically forget the Supreme Court and what they said, enforce it anyway. He's still saying, forget it, enforce it anyway. But I'm like, well, when they start getting all these lawsuits, you know what I'm saying now, where Joe gonna be at?
Right. And so, man, at the end of the day, man, they're gonna use whatever they can against us to get us to go along with this plan that they have, whatever it may be. I ain't gonna get heavy with the conspiracies, whatever they plan. And obviously something ain't right with this bullshit, because they rolling these things out and it's not working. The majority of the people who are being hospitalized and the majority of people who are passing away are people who have complied.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the people like us who are non-compliant, we might catch a little cold here and there. You know what I'm saying? And depending on your circumstances and your health conditions and all that, it could be a little more severe. But it's no different from somebody who is compliant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same circumstances, the same situation. So it's very obvious to everybody, whether you're against it, whether you're for it, it's very obvious to everybody that this shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're still pushing it so hard and trying their best to mandate it in all these different areas and all that tells us that there is some type of plan, there is some type of agenda behind this shit. And so the only thing that we can do is to resist, family. That's the only thing that we could do is to resist and understand. Like I said on my I don't know if I tweeted it or Instagram or whatever. Like I said, you have to understand that death is sweeter than tyranny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you get rid of that fear of dying, get rid of that fear of death, then they can no longer terrorize you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing that they hold over us.
Yeah.
That fear right there.
Yeah.
And so on the 23rd, January 23rd,
oh yeah,
which is what, next Sunday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a what's it called? Let me put a flyer up. They're having a rally down there in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Our brother Reza is going to be one of the speakers out there. They got a whole bunch of different organizations out there.
Effective on the 15th, the I believe mayor or whatever out there in DC, basically in order to go into any of the restaurants, bars, etc., you have to have your freedom papers, and that went live and effective on the 15th.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they're having that's this weekend. They're having that restaurant weekend or whatever the case may be. And so in order for you to participate in that, you're going to have your freedom papers on deck, like she said. But the way that they word the headline makes it seem like in order to leave your house, period, for any reason at all, you're going to need those freedom papers. And that's no accident that they word those headlines that way, family. Media is warfare. You know what I'm saying? And so they're doing that in order to condition your mind to start getting used to that level of tyranny, start getting used to that level of control, so that it becomes more and more normalized in your mind until you accept it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the name of the rally is Defeat the Mandates. Meet at Washington Monument at 10 a.m. Defeat the Mandates. If you're in the DC area, or if you're down in the DMV area, or if you could get to that area next week on Sunday, go out there and support our brother. We need as much melanated people out there as possible to show that, you know, we're not having this shit as well. Because it's gonna be a lot of white folks out there for sure.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be a lot of white folks out there for sure. You know what I'm saying? So we got to show ourselves as well. So this is not about whether you're pro, whether you're anti. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're white, you're black. It doesn't matter what your background is. If you're foundational Black American or if you're an immigrant from somewhere else, the one thing that we all should be able to agree on is that we should have the right to choose for ourselves what's right for our bodies.
Like abortion.
That's one thing that we should be able to all agree on. If you want to get it, that's fine. If somebody else chooses not to get it, that's their right as well. We all should be able to agree on that. And so the fact that they're trying to take that choice and that option away from us, we all should be able to stand in solidarity against that type of bullshit.
Period. All right, so got another one. So last week sometime, US Today put out a tweet that says, when most of the public thinks of pedophilia, they assume it's synonymous with child sexual abuse. A pedophile is an adult who is sexually attracted to children, but not all pedophiles abuse kids, and some people who sexually abuse kids are not pedophiles. This was put out by US Today. They since deleted it because they got a lot of backlash, but what the was that?
Right. And Fierce for Reading, I don't know if this is a brother or a sister, but Fierce for Reading said something earlier. I'm going to put that up. She said, we all know that Great Britain sent all of their undesirables to these American lands. So these people are just doing what they're used to doing. This is their culture. This is the reason why we see these pedophiles and these rapists and sex offenders getting slaps on the wrist and getting set free altogether, because they are trying to normalize these degenerate lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that we keep going along, because, you know, we're a compassionate people. We're not against anybody being able to live their life and choose whichever lifestyle that they want to live, right? And so we like, oh, you know, we get behind these LGBTQ issues because we like, they should be free to make their choice. They should be allowed to get married, or they should be allowed to go to the army, or whatever it is. We see that as, okay, leave these people alone, let them live their life. But it's a slippery slope, family, the more that we give them, the more that they take. You know what I'm saying? And their
Right.
ultimate agenda is they coming for your kids, man.
That was right there. That was definitely coming from the kids.
They coming
Right.
for your kids. They keep on putting these little things out there because this is not the first time that we've seen a mainstream outlet pushing something like this.
Right.
They have a couple of people on TED Talks who are pedos trying to speak about it as if it's just another lifestyle choice.
Or
You know what I'm
they
saying?
call themselves a minority. Remember, they said that we're a minority. So
Yes.
again, this is the reason why we can't be using those terms, because now pedophiles are identifying as their own minority group, right? So when they're trying to write up these bills and adding the word minority, well, guess what? You're agreeing with that. Then you agreeing with pedophilia too at some point.
January 23rd, Jackson. January 23rd.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Marcel Dixon in the building? Thanks for joining us tonight, brother.
Peace. What's going on, family? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you tapping in. Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was January 23rd. Not the 3rd. We already passed the 3rd.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to be very, very careful about what it is that we allow and we accept, right?
And that we support.
And that we support. And then when you're looking into supporting things, make sure that it's supporting you and not everybody else. And it's okay sometimes, but if it's at the detriment of your own, native group, then you can't do it. You got to drag back, push back as well. Push back.
Right. And you have to dig deep. You have to dig deep to see what the ultimate agenda is. At the end of the day, like I said, we got to play chess, not checkers. And so in chess, for those of y'all that don't play chess, in chess, you don't just make one move at a time. One move is setting up 2-3 moves down the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when we see them making these moves, we got to look at what they setting up on the chessboard and what's going to be coming down the pipe. What is their ultimate agenda? What are they really trying to get at? Because it looked like they just trying to take your little pawn over here.
Right.
But once they get that pawn, you're going to be put in checkmate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not paying attention to what they really trying to do, they distracting you over here. Just got you focused on you worrying about saving your rook. You worried about saving your knight because those are powerful pieces on the board. You're like, oh, he looked like he's trying to threaten my piece over here. But meanwhile, that's a whole decoy. That's a whole distraction because that queen is vulnerable. Right. So we got to look at it from that perspective, family.
Yeah. Again, the title of the show, white supremacy playing both sides of the argument. They play both sides of the argument. So we have to make ourselves triple aware, 10 times aware of everything that they put before us.
Right.
Exactly, Jackson Harlem. Their every move is about genetic survival. Absolutely.
Right. They're trying to groom the next generation so that they won't be a threat to the system of white supremacy. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. And that's what we've been talking about throughout the whole show, from the children's books all the way on. You know what I'm saying? Normalizing this pedophilia, all of it.
Right. And what child that has been a victim of such heinous things, from a grown-up has come out normal, in time. And yes, some people have learned to deal with it and cope with it, but you still have issues. I myself have been a victim of that, right? And I will say, it took me a long time to acknowledge certain things that behaviors that I was engaging in or things that I was allowing, etc., was partly because of that. But it took me to, deal with it, right? And acknowledge where that was coming from. So there's a lot of issues that come along with that. There's no child that experiences that and can just come out all the way, right. It really messes you up, in a lot of ways. And yes, you can, function in society, be successful and all that. But there's still other things that you're dealing with that most people may not, be privy to see. You learn ways to mask it, which is not necessarily good either, because behind the scenes, you're doing a lot of damage to yourself.
And what they're saying in the article, every pedophile doesn't abuse children, and everyone that abuses children is not a pedophile. There they go again, trying to play both sides of the argument.
Wordplay.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell is that?
Right.
What the hell is that? Oh, just because I'm having sex with this kid doesn't mean I'm abusing him. I mean,
right.
You know, he likes it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on that TED Talk. It was this one, and his age group was between 8 and 10. You know, and he was saying, you know, and they love me. You know, what about when the kid loves me too? You know, and they showed me, and I'm just like, well, kids are usually, you know, naturally affectionate, you know, and touchy or whatever, especially if they're comfortable with you. It's their way to show you that they trust you until you break that trust, fool.
And it's a psychological thing too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because a child's mind is not fully developed at all. No. You know what I'm saying? And I've even heard Oprah, I've even heard her say this when she was speaking about her abuse, of how she said, when a pedophile is good at what they do, it actually feels good to the child. You know what I'm saying? They're giving you pleasure. Mm-hmm. So you don't even know that you're being abused. It's it's a mind fuck.
It really
is. You know what
is.
I'm saying?
Yala was molested by her uncle as well, and she said the same thing. Like she would at point, like when she knew he was going to creep in her room, you know, and do certain things, she would be visually upset. But in time, it was almost like she was looking forward to it in a way because it started to feel good. Unfortunately, you know? Even though she knew it was wrong. So, and she was a child, so she didn't know any better.
That's some sick shit, Black family, and it happens too often in Black families as well, where these people get protected and not get called out because people are ashamed to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got to get off of that too, family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to get off of that too. If you know you got a creepy ass uncle or somebody in your damn family,
we've had them.
They need to be put out there. They need to be put out there. They do not need to be able to just blend in and act like everything is normal. No, man, we got to protect these kids.
Functions. And this is how it works. They come to the family functions and stuff, and all you tell the kids, y'all don't go over there near him. Why is the fool welcome to come in the first place?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's that little thing. Y'all make sure y'all stay over there away from that uncle. You know, not really telling the child why. You're just, you know, telling them don't, you know, if he tell you to come here, you run the other way. Why was he invited?
Absolutely, viewer one. Absolutely, viewer one. And that's the way that it should be. That's the code. Mm-hmm. That's the code right there, family. If someone touches one of mine, they will no longer have hands. That's the code.
My thing
anything other than that is off code.
You know what? I see people, you know, ask, you know, politicians, right? And I think it was a comment in there last night about that, like, you know, politicians, you know, people that, you know, stand for Black people. Is there a fear of, you know, kind of being on the hit list? You know, we've seen what happened, you know, to people that stood for Black folks in the past. You know, are you, you know, scared of dying, you know, for what you believe in? And my thing is, are you scared of dying if that's where it comes to for your children, or even going to jail? If someone touches your, you know, to me, that's not a question for a politician. That's a question for someone that touches your child.
Right.
What you willing to do? Are you willing to take football numbers?
Whatever happens, whatever comes with it.
Whatever comes with it, right?
Whatever comes with it. But yeah. You gotta find something. You gotta find something in this life that you're willing to die for. Otherwise, you don't deserve to live.
Period.
And if it ain't your children, then I don't know what it is.
Man.
If it ain't your children, I don't know what it is. But I want to play this. I want to play this video right here too as another example of how they take both sides of the argument, family. Mm-hmm. That's the theme for those of y'all that's just tuning in. The theme of this show today is white supremacists always take all sides of every argument in order to secure the win for themselves, right? And we've been using a lot of stories that's been coming out with this common theme to show different examples of how that works. And so this is just another example right here. This dude, I don't even know who he is, but he was talking some bullshit on one of these podcasts. Let me see.
after I had my interview, George Floyd happened a month later. A crackhead criminal who was still unjustly treated, but let's face it, probably died for a lot of reasons. Maybe possibly Derek Chauvin is one of the culprits, but wasn't the only.
Look at that.
The funny thing is about it is after I said my interview, after I had my interview, George Floyd happened a month later. A crackhead criminal who was still unjustly treated, but let's face it, probably died for a lot of reasons. Maybe possibly Derek Chauvin is one of the culprits.
Which side is he on?
The funny thing is,
which side of the argument is he on? Yeah, he's arguing both sides here.
Right. And
hold on, let me get out of here.
He was speaking to Mario Lopez, from Saved by the Bell, the one with the dimples, Hispanic, Mario Lopez. He was talking to him, and when he said it, he chuckled. He laughed. There was no pushback, as you can see, because he could have easily, intervened right there. Hold on, we're not going to be disrespectful. You can make especially when you're talking about the deceased, right? Someone who died as violently as that man did, on camera. So he could have given him some pushback, but instead he chuckled.
Yeah. But again,
that's your minority. That's your black and brown.
Right. There you go. That's your minority coalition right there.
That's your Angelino.
Yeah. Unjustly killed crackhead criminal. Which side? Which side? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nigga arguing for you and against you at the same time.
Same time.
At the same time. And you left confused, and at the end of the day, they still got the power.
Right.
That's the way that it works.
Pay attention.
That is the way that it works.
What they tell us, everything they glitter and gold.
Oh yeah, here goes some more of that. Here goes some more of your minority coalition too, right here, family. Here goes some more of your minority coalition. Let me pull this up. Lord. Oh, why is it not showing?
It's not coming up. I don't see anything.
No, for some reason. Hold on. All right, hit the like button, family. Y'all know, and you know how we do. Hit that thumbs up button, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I don't know why it's not in here. I got it on my phone, but it's not in the.
So at the bottom, I can see it. You moving your controls, but it's not coming on the main page.
Yeah, I'm not sharing it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to look for but the video that Jackson put in there inside the source materials with the Asians that was calling the basketball players niggas as they was getting off the bus.
Oh yeah, that's on African Diaspora. If you can pull that up, maybe.
Okay, that's on his channel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me go to that. See if it works that way.
Jackson. Yeah, this is stop Asian hate.
Yeah, here it go. All right,
Yeah.
Let me share this. And shout out to African Diaspora channel, by the way.
Yes.
They do good work over there.
Absolutely.
Get out of China, nigga.
Right. That's your minority coalition, y'all.
And they got y'all Negroes out here talking about stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian hate. Hashtag.
A lot of y'all basketball players too. A lot of y'all athletes and shit is out here talking about stop Asian hate. And who was it? Was it Jamel Hill talking about black people can be socially arrogant sometimes,
right. Yeah, but this is your people of color. This is your minorities, right? This is your what is it? Diversity, right? This is what they think about you, like Ice Cube say. Here's what they think about you.
Exactly.
Y'all better get y'all head out the clouds.
The anti-blackness is real. The anti-blackness is real, and it's coming from all angles. And this is the thing that we were saying before this previous election when we was telling y'all to just hold the vote, because right now we ain't got nobody that's representing us. You know, y'all wanted to go vote blue no matter who, and
Right.
you know, you thought Kamala was your sister girl and all of that shit, right?
Right.
And
the
main thing that we kept telling y'all is, under Trump, we know we got to deal with good old-fashioned white supremacy. That's something that, as foundational Black Americans, we are used to. You know what I'm saying? We know how to deal with that. But by getting the Democrats in power, we have to deal with anti-Blackness from all of these other communities.
Yeah.
So now the Asians are being prioritized over top of you. The Hispanics are being prioritized over top of you. The anti-Black white LGBTs are being prioritized over top of you. Everybody's being empowered. They're given resources in order to further marginalize your Black ass.
Period. And let's be clear, the Asians as well as the Hispanic communities, remember, they fought to be classified as white.
Right.
They didn't even want to be separated, you know, by their own ethnic group. They fought to remain white.
Right.
But y'all still singing that song.
Exactly. Man. So yeah, man, good show tonight, man. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot. Family, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, wherever you might be watching this on. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Twitter, make sure that you are following me. I'm at SincereluvdaGod on all social media platforms. Make sure you are following my lovely co-host, nyctegur, with the #1 on Instagram and without the #1 on all other platforms, so that you can stay up to date with whatever we got going on, with whatever we got coming up. And yes, you can support us via Cashapp, as you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Thank you for that, viewer one. I appreciate that as well. Let me see. Actually, let me hide this real quick. Let me go to the banners so I could change that. Change that so y'all can see. All right, put that up right there. Boom. So yeah, if you want to support the platform and help us grow and reach more people and get better equipment and all of that good stuff, there you go right there. Hit up the Cash App, $SincerelUv, #7, $nyctegur, no L, no #1s, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, got anything else?
No, that was it. That was it. I don't know if we touched on it last week. I think I can squeeze it in just in case, because I can't recall if we squeezed it in last week. But the brother that was killed by the off-duty race soldier down there in where is it? I just saw it.
With the pickup truck?
With the pickup truck, he claimed that the dude jumped on the truck, and witnesses was like, he didn't know, how can he jump on the truck when you hit him?
Right. This nigga just attacked a big ass Ford F-150.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just unarmed, just gonna attack a big ass pickup truck. That's your story, and you're sticking to it. Okay, white folks.
Right, and and from what we know so far, he has been identified, of course, but they have scrubbed all social media, which they did on purpose.
Oh yeah, they were hiding his name and his identity for the longest, but the Black grassroots got on the job and put his ass out there, doxed him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me pull that up real quick. Oh, I think I got it on my page actually. Just so y'all can see who we talking about. Put this goddamn race soldier out there so people could be aware of who he is. What city is it again?
I forgot. That's the sad part. I'm sitting here looking for it.
Hold on.
I got
the info on here. So, murdering race soldier, Deputy Sheriff Sergeant Jeffrey Thomas Hash. It's in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay, I said the Carolina.
There he goes.
Yeah, look at that net.
There he goes. And there goes his info right there. In case anybody wants to pull up. Age 38. 3407 Harrisburg Drive, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28306. All right. Cell phone number is 912-922-7512. Landline is 910-229-3772. His name is Jason Walker. Oh, no. Jason Walker was the victim. I'm sorry. Jason Walker was the victim. His name is Deputy Sheriff Sergeant Jeffrey Thomas Hash. So be on the lookout for this guy, man.
Yeah.
And another thing, nyctegur, you were telling me about a sister who's going through some real hardships right now. I don't know if you want to shout her out and send some love and light her way before we get out of here.
I do. I've been following this sister for some years. She has been a writer, for Black people. She's been connected, of course, with Riza Umar, just a lot on the ground, doing a lot of groundwork. Definitely. She actually helped me some years ago when I first started gardening and trying to grow. And she will also always put up posts on her social media about gardening. And I reached out, was like, what do I need to do? So she kind of sent me some information. But our sister has cancer. She's been battling it now for about, I'll say 2 years maybe. And she posted the other day that they want to put her on hospice. And it just broke my heart because, like I said, you don't necessarily meet people personally, but you connect, with them anyway. And anytime one of us, especially a writer for us, is going through anything, I just, I told her, I reached out when she posted, I was like, I never met you, you still my sister. I love you, and anything I can do, let me know. But she does have anyone that want to send her, some, support. She because a lot of her treatment she has been having to pay out of pocket. It's $ OG Empress 88. $ OG Empress 88.
Yeah, so definitely love and light to that sister. Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? I know you were telling me she really been going through it as far as with her health and also her living conditions as well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, man, we got to support our people, man. People that's out here, doing work on our behalf and all of that. It can't just be about tweeting and putting up posts and just saying, I'm with you and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? If you see people that's out here doing real shit, we got to get behind them with our dollars.
Right. And if you guys want to follow her, you can follow her story. She has a hashtag that says walk with me is her tag. Walk with me. Walk and then wit, WIT, me is her hashtag. You can follow her there, but her Instagram is TAZARA path, PATH. TAZARA path. Now she's also in the music. She's a recording artist and everything, and all of this, of course, this situation, stopped her from being able to make money, performing. She's from New York, it stopped a lot of stuff. And of course, I've been doing what I can to, assist her when I can. But you can follow her hashtag, and send her some love and light.
Right.
That's
all right, family. So that does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Some chick named Star's aware of her as well.
Yeah.
Too. Shout out to some chick named Star in the digital building. Appreciate you. She always listening in. So we'll see you guys again on Wednesday. With another episode of the Black Business Showcase. I'm not sure who we got. We got
our brother King Cam.
Oh, King Cam gonna be in the building this week. Okay.
Building this week, and then the next day, Thursday, we will have our brother Fats the Jeweler on Thursday. So yeah, we got a nice lineup, great Black businesses, this week, and literally into February, y'all. We're good. And anybody know any other Black businesses that would like to be highlighted on the Sincere Love the Godcast Black Business Showcase, please send them our way, please.
That's dope. I'm excited now. I got to get to making these flyers for this week. So we got King Cam on Wednesday, and then we got Faster Jeweler on Thursday. Faster Jeweler, y'all. Faster Jeweler is a 14-year-old young man out in Chicago who makes jewelry and has his own jewelry store out there. 14 years old. His pops helped him start his own business. Very talented. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of the rappers coming to him to buy their chains and get their watches iced out and all that, get their bust downs and all of that stuff. So he's doing his thing. Proud of this young man. Looking forward to chopping it up with him, man. So yeah, that's what's up, man. Hopefully y'all tune in with us this week for the Black Business Showcase. And tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So tap in with us. And like I always tell y'all, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us each and every week right here on Sincere Love the Godcast.
Hey, thank you all again for tapping in with us this Sunday. This was a great show. It looked like it was a little more organized this time too. You know, I like that. But yeah, thank you, family, so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys on Wednesday on the Black Business Showcase. We're gonna be in somebody's Black business. Tap in. Good night, y'all.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of